Pony, and welcome back to another Pony Talk podcast. It is great to see you all back for another episode review. And today, guys, we are kicking it off with episode 16. A Trivial Pursuit is our title. And, so as you know, we are a little bit behind schedule, more than I would like to be. We got this episode, and then the day I'm recording this podcast is actually going to be this week's episode. Not this one, but the next one will be this week's episode, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But this is the overall episode 212. Yes, A Trivial Pursuit. So, first off, this was a fun little episode. I'm just going to say that. I thought it was enjoyable, but let's get into the actual review, because this is what we're all here about, and, yes. So, let's begin. So, the episode kicks off, guys, at the Castle of Friendship, where we have Twilight and Spike. It mainly starts off with Spike, but then Twilight is later introduced, and Twilight's a little more happier than usual. Like, Scary Twi, happy. So she is, like, really pumped up because, Ponyville is kicking off an event called, Trivia Trot. Now, Trivia Trot is a competitive game of, knowing all your trivia. Anything that has done with recent events that has happened in Equestria, history, you name it. So basically their version of Trivia Crack. If you guys know what Trivia Crack is, a very old app, but I think people still play it. I don't know. It's kind of up there with Flappy Bird, but Flappy Bird went out in a way different way. Anyways, off topic. Yes, Trivia Trot. Twilight is the pro champion of Trivia Trot. She has won multiple times, and she's really excited to go back. So she really hasn't gotten too much sleep, but that's just Twilight. She always, when she's really enthusiastic or worried about something, we know how Twilight is. And yeah, so Spike is like, okay then. Yes, Twi, I know, I understand Trivia Trot stuff. We will go there, but you need to get some rest. And she's like, okay, Spike, you go do that too. So, the next morning, they're all rested up. Twi is much back to her regular self. She was just very loopy because it's the night, you know. You have your focus on something and you're not really speaking your usual self way. And, so she then goes to explain detail on the game rules because, again, Twilight, that is how she is. So she goes over in a very, very extensive detail on the game rules, and how there are multiple ponies who can enter in with Trivia Trot, but they will also be partnered up with whoever is there, due to the game show's host, which are the host, if I remember, was... Oh my god. I'm trying to think. Yeah, why can I not think of who the game show host was of Trivia Trot? Oh no, it was Granny Smith. Why did that take so long than what it normally should have? I'm sorry, guys. And speaking of loopy and not really thinking, that's me right now in this predicament. So bear with me here. So, anyways, Granny Smith is the one who is the host of Trivia Trot, and she then goes organizing ponies of who they'll be teamed up with. So we have Applejack, Mudpie, Mudbriar. Very good to see those two. Sunburst. I think I said Applejack and Rainbow Dash. If I didn't, then them. Matilda, Cranky Doodle, Oak Biceps, Dr. Hooves. You got a lot of ponies participating in this game. And Pinkie Pie. So, while everyone has their teammates, Twilight is the last one to get her teammate, and her teammate is Pinkie Pie. Twilight's very concerned about this because Twilight does not want to get into a team with Pinkie Pie. She doesn't, of course, is not going to say that to her or anything like that, but Pinkie Pie tells Twilight, I'm very excited, Team Twi-Pie. Yeah, this is another thing about this episode. I just want to make this quick comment. There was a lot of, like, ship names out there, even though it was for a game show. Yeah, Twi-Pie, Apple Dash, I don't I don't know, it just was out there, and I just was like, what is this? What is this? Why are you doing this? But, I just thought it was pretty funny. So, while, Twilight's paired up with Pinkie Pie, and Pinkie Pie is so excited, Team Twi-Pie and all that, and gives Twilight a big hug, and Twilight's like, kind of like, yeah, alright, this can't be good, because, and I didn't really explain myself too much, the reason why Twilight doesn't really want to be, partnered up with Pinkie Pie, during Trivia Trot is Pinkie Pie has never played Trivia Trot. So her knowledge to Twilight is more not the best. Not Twilight's best, at least. Pinkie Pie is an amazing friend and all that, but I just could settle with some pony else who actually knows what to do. But Twilight's like, alright, Pinkie, if you think you know what you know, and you think it's all good, then yeah, let's do this thing. So Pinkie Pie's like, okie dokie Loki. So the game begins. We have Granny Smith giving off the first question for the ponies to answer, and Pinkie Pie is the first to ring the bell. Just like in any game show, ring the bell, tap the buzzer, those types of things. She is the first to do that, and gives off an answer, and that ends up being a complete opposite answer. Way wrong. I don't even know where I was going with that either. Yes, so, while Pinkie Pie kind of answers that question, in a bad way, this is where Twilight is really stressing out, because they are starting to fall behind. They already got their first answer wrong, so Twilight's really stressing out. And during this, Pinkie Pie has taken up quite a few questions, and Twilight's like, okay, Pinkie, you had your turn and all of that. We're gonna stop right now. I'll do the answering, and you just, help me think this out, You guys like, oh, well, okay. I guess that's alright. Yeah, let's do it, Twi. So, her and Pinkie kind of sort of think things out. Mostly it's Twilight doing the work. Twilight kind of takes the bell away from Pinkie, uh, it kind of goes through a loop of where just many different times of where Twilight's like holding the bell up here. When Pinkie Pie's about to slam it, Twilight immediately grabs the bell and Pinkie just hits herself on the table. And she kind of starts getting frustrated because Twilight is being kind of ignorant and very selfish about her having the bell and all that. And I don't even know if selfish was the correct description of that. Well, Twilight's basically being a hog, and Pinkie Pie cannot have any fun with this. You know, how is it fun when, you know, you don't know stuff, but your friend's getting mad at you and doesn't want you to touch anything, do anything, especially during a trivia game. So Pinkie Pie kind of feels pretty bad about herself, and at this point she really should, because this isn't fair. Twilight should not be doing this. Twilight should know, hey, you know, at least give Pinkie Pie a chance, you know, even though she did mess up and all that. It's not like she doesn't know anything. Pinkie Pie is pretty smart, so, you know, give her a shot. But Twilight just doesn't want to do anything, and she tries figuring out other loopholes of how to win, because even though Pinkie Pie has kind of put them down a little bit with the score, Twilight's still trying to drag the team. So she tries to find each little individual thing about what's wrong with the game and what's against the rules. So now she starts going and using the rule book. So one of them was, if I do remember, no, I can't remember. But all I know is Twilight tries to figure out ways to deduct other teams' points for any little reason or anything like that, in any way, shape, or form she can. And she's starting to kind of get a little bit smart, and the bad kind of smart. So this is kind of Twilight being very competitive, but also rude to her teammate, which is Pinkie Pie in this case. Pinkie Pie feels very left out, and she shouldn't have to feel that way. She should be a part of the game, but, you know, Twilight's not really understanding that. She's more focused on, I'm gonna win this thing, no matter how bad I have to get through it, how wrong it may seem, I'm going to do this. So, when that's all said and done, one of the things was Twilight pointed out a rule that was broken, which was... Oh, yeah, she uses one of the rules against Pinkie Pie, which is that her teammates cannot shout the answer without ringing the bell. And Twilight tells her, oh, you can do it. At least I think that's what it was. I'm not sure. But I know in the beginning, and I'm sorry if I'm confusing this, I'm starting to kind of confuse myself, but Twilight ends up getting one team disqualified for one of those stupid little rules. The amount of rules, and even the book's like thick, and yeah, just for the little tiny things you can break in that, I don't think I would be able to play Trivia Trot. I don't know, but anyway, Twilight tricks Pinkie into breaking one of the rules herself, and that ends up being called out by Granny Smith, saying, oh, you can't do that, that's actually one of the rules. And Pinkie Pie is like, so what does that mean? And Twilight says, oh, that means you get disqualified, Pinkie. I'm sorry. So, even though she says, I'm sorry, Twilight isn't really sorry. She kind of did that to, well, kind of get Pinkie out of the game. So, this can happen. As Pinkie Pie is disqualified, Sunburst is re-entered into the game because he was disqualified with his team member for one of the rules Twilight pointed out was broken during the Trivia Trot game. And so Pinkie Pie's like, wait, but you got disqualified, Sunburst. And he says, well, in the rules and stuff, any other team that does get qualified or one pony who does get disqualified from their team, but the other is still left in the game, can find another source of someone who was disqualified can re-enter. So I will be your new position for Twilight. So yeah, and Twilight's like, I'm sorry, Pinkie, I should have really checked back. And Pinkie Pie's like, no, it's fine. I mess up things anyway. And she's kind of putting herself down at this point. And with that being said, Twilight notices the certain state she's in. And when she overtakes answering all the following questions, and she lets both herself and Sunburst take each place. One of the questions was quite interesting. Trying to think. Oh yeah, Twilight realizes that, Pinkie Pie is looking sad over there, and she's really upset too. And Twilight's over here starting to realize, oh my god, what kind of friend am I to, just because this friend isn't really good at what I know about Trivia Trot and they've never played it, I've basically ruined that for them because I was too much filled with greed to make it through this game and be claimed the champion, when really this is all about having fun. And I kind of ruined that for someone who I'm pretty close to. So Twilight really feels bad in this situation, and she should, because that isn't something right, especially if you're really good friends with someone. So Twilight now frames herself as a horrible teammate, and then says, I need to go do something. So she goes away from the trivia game, and she goes to talk to Pinkie Pie and says, hey, how you doing? And Pinkie Pie's like, not too well. And Twilight's like, listen, I'm sorry for, being rude, being really, not a good team member or teammate, and, not letting you have a chance on joining in on the fun. I was too worried about me actually doing or winning this thing when I should be sharing this with someone who's important, or some pony who's important. And you're my team member, so I should be sharing that with you and having fun. Yes, I do want to win, but having a friend enjoy it is more important than me winning. So Pinkie Pie accepts Twilight's apology, gives her a hug, and Twilight's happy now. And so they re-enter in Trivia Trot. So it's Twilight and Pinkie Pie. Actually, it might have been even a new round. I don't know. But, this, and I just realized, how Twilight actually got one of the team members out from the beginning when she was being rude to Pinkie Pie, not touching the bell or anything like that, and letting out her answer. Twilight tells one of the members, oh, you can't have your other member sleeping, which was Cranky Doodle. Cranky was sleeping during the game, and that's not allowed. So that's how she managed to get that team out, and that was with Sunburst and Cranky. And that's how Sunburst was able to re-enter, because Pinkie Pie got disqualified. Sorry, I know that's a little bit of backtracking, but yes, that's what was happening. And then once they were paired up, they were doing extremely well because two really smart ponies working together. Sunburst knows what he's doing, and Twilight definitely knows what she's doing. And then that's when Twilight comes to realization, I made a mistake. I should have not, betrayed my team member and made her break the rules to get disqualified from the game. That's not really what a good friend would do. And Twilight realizes that, talks to Pinkie Pie about it, and Pinkie Pie accepts her apology, and this is where things kind of get interesting, guys. So with all that being said, they go back to the game, which I think starts a new round. So now disqualified members can re-enter into the game, and so it's Twilight, the Twi-Pie, Team Twi-Pie in the game, and they are the first to ring the bell, and they answer both obscure answer, and that ends up being very, very wrong. But Twilight doesn't care, nor does Pinkie Pie, and they just have a good old time and laugh all about it. And Twilight really has fun, a lot more fun doing this with someone who she really cares about. So Twilight learned that it's enjoyable to win, but it's more enjoyable to have friends to share it with. So that is the lesson that is learned in this episode, and that basically wraps it up right there, guys. Whew. Alright, so again, I know that was so out of proportion and just placed in different directions, and I didn't really have a clear, straight discussion of how the episode was set up, but I tried my best, and yes, it will be better in the next one. I gotta say though, this was a really fun little episode. It definitely was a filler. This definitely was a filler episode, and again, I don't have a problem with fillers, especially since it's the last season. I love the episodes that are coming. I really have not been disappointed at all with this season, and I know when the finale hits, I know it has released in other places of the world, which do not spoil, guys, in the podcast comments down below. Please, if you've already seen the finale, do not post anything in the podcast about it, because those will be automatically deleted. But I know that the finale is going to be good, as well as a few other episodes that come our way. So, I want to hear from you guys. What did you guys think of this episode, A Trivial Pursuit? Do you think it was pretty neat? Do you think it was enjoyable? You definitely think it was should have definitely been a part of this? Or do you think it was alright, but I could do without? I want to hear your guys' comments. Leave them down below. No spoilers or anything like that of the finale, because I know I'm stressing this a lot, but there's been a lot of reports of people actually doing that, going to things and completely spoiling the finale. It's not really cool, because that is the last finale of the whole entire episode, and people want to experience it just as much as those people did, without any spoilers. So let's keep it spoiler free, and I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. And if you are interested in joining the Pony Talk podcast, because we still got quite a few episodes left, but that doesn't mean we have so many that you can join whenever. No, we need you guys to join as soon as possible, because once these episodes are all the way through, hit done, yeah, we don't know where the podcast is going to go from that. So, yes, make sure if you want to join, you comment down below saying you want in, and it just may perhaps be your lucky day. With that being said, that's all the time we have for in this Pony Talk podcast. Thank you all so much for watching, and we will see you in the next episode. The next episode will be the Summer Sun Setback. That it will be episode 17, and it's going to be a good one. So, with that being said, thank you so much for watching this Pony Talk podcast, and we will see you all guys in the next episode. Peace out, every pony. Bye!